halfway through the week, Wednesday edition. Everybody's excited. Got a lot to get to. How are you doing this morning?
I'm great. Why?
Well, no, just don't like your energy.
That's weird. You bring negative energy already in it.
I do.
That's what I'm talking about.
Like
No, I'm bringing positive energy. I just don't like your energy. I just
See?
don't like your
It's good energy. And I like that jacket.
That's what I'm talking about, Dave. Thank you. I like your long sleeve shirt.
Real Matthew McConaughey vibes today.
Yeah.
You just give him a young Christopher Walken vibe over there right now.
A young Christopher Walken.
Dancing through? Come on.
Blaine just watches Dune 2.
I did watch Dune 2 last night. I
I'm
bought
trying to figure out if that's a compliment or not, though.
In my book,
Christopher Walken is a boss. But
I mean,
how am I giving off his vibes, though?
power, energy, great dancer.
Okay. Maybe it was my
Cone
performance
is a
in
great-
Lady Ball.
Cone is a
There
great,
you go. See?
great dancer. Texas A&M loses another player to the transfer portal. Should they panic? The Lakers beat the Pels last night to secure the 7th seed in the Western Conference, and the Kings finally get rid of the Golden State Warriors, knocking them out of the NBA playoffs. I'm Jay Crane, and it's a Humping Badger edition of Crane and Company. Yeah, he got out. Now, Jacoby Matthews leaving wasn't the biggest surprise in the world to A&M fans, and they have lost some players in totality in the portal. They've gained some. But in year one under Mike Elko, is there any reason to already hit the panic button? And the truth is, no, not even close. See, sometimes it's necessary for some programs to have to get rid of guys. Trimming the fat even applies to some of the top players. But this A&M team, I think, performs better as underdogs or is going to have one of their best years when expectations aren't as high as they've been in the past. And for Mike Elko and the Aggies, you aren't hearing the same rhetoric about this year's team being some juggernaut because of recruiting. He isn't out there calling out Nick Saban or giving other top dogs bulletin board material. He's really just handling business and attempting to turn the Aggies back into who they really are. And that's a program that's gritty, not flashy, that's tough on the field, not on the mic, and has an identity that screams we may not be the state school, but we're damn sure not afraid of them. Now, that's when A&M is at their best. And when we talk about expectations, I'm not talking about the A&M fans. Those expectations will always be high. The standard should always be high, and that's the way that it should be. I'm talking about the national media members gassing them up to a point where it becomes a year in and year out joke about A&M not living up to the hype. You're not going to hear that this year, and that's a gift for them. A&M doesn't have a mountain of championships in their past, but the potential is definitely there to start making some runs. And maybe all they needed was a reminder that they have to climb the mountain inch by inch and literally fight for everything, especially now that Texas and Oklahoma is in the conference. I mean, hell, this is the place of the 12th man and the Junction Boys. It doesn't need to be a beauty contest. It needs to be a bar fight. And with Mike Elko now in charge, don't be surprised if they start fulfilling that potential sooner than expected. But until then, go ahead and make your jokes. A&M's heard them all. But I think the best part about this new A&M chapter is, well, they really just aren't listening anymore. I'm going to bring in my co-host, former Michigan quarterback David Cone, my brother, former Western State, Colorado wide receiver Blaine Crane. And listen, David, starting with you, in the transfer portal era, I know this spring window, like we told you here on Crane and Company, hasn't been as crazy or wild as some expected. But if you look at A&M, they're kind of sliding under the radar a little bit right now. As they should, bringing in a new coach. They did add 24 guys at the end of the year when the portal opened up. I kind of like this path for A&M and kind of sneaking around a little bit.
Well, the answer to the question, should a fan base panic, especially when you just hired a new coach, should almost always be no, provided there's not something going on off the field.
For sure.
But it's not good. I mean, when I sit here and I look that Jacoby Myers becomes the 19th scholarship player for Texas A&M to enter the transfer portal since November, that's not good. But part of that is due to the new era of college football where the portal's open, so more guys are going to leave. Part of that attrition is due due to you had a bunch of really good classes, right? I mean, Jimbo Fisher only a couple seasons removed for having the #1 overall class. When that happens, a lot of your guys are going to leave. Usually it's, non-starters you would rather leave. But for me right now, for Texas A&M, it's like just go about your business, just like what you talked about. We saw them try and do it one way, which is Jimbo Fisher landing those #1 overall classes. That didn't result in the type of wins that Texas A&M fans were wanting. Now you got a new guy in there, a guy who's familiar with the Texas A&M program. Let's just go about our business, maybe fly under the radar a little bit. What's kind of tough pill to swallow, I think, for a lot of Texas A&M fans is this just so happens to be a year when Texas comes into the conference. And that's an old school in-state rivalry.
And Texas is bringing a pretty good roster into the conference year one as well with Quinn and those guys coming back. Blaine, look, and David's brought this up, and I think it's a great point. Some places have identities. That doesn't mean schematically you have to always do the same thing. Like Statesboro, where you're from, they were known for really running that spread option, that triple option, right? And that was kind of the schematical thing they did. And then they got away from that, and they've found a way to have some success. But that identity is still tough. I think communities and places have identities, and A&M. They were kind of like started going to the rich kid parties and wanted to hang out with Alabama and Georgia and like all these teams that have this tradition of winning national championships and being at the top levels of recruiting. Not that you don't want to be, but I don't know. It just feels like A&M is better when they're more, Tim Riggins, not like the star quarterback of the team.
I agree with that. Now, right now I believe A&M is projected to win 9 games. So this is going to be a good football team. You bring back Connor Wegman. I know you lost a lot in the portal, but I remember the A&M days where you were just kicking everybody's ass up front, right? Jake Matthews, you have 3 or 4 guys going to the NFL, and you flip it on the other side, and they always have a linebacker and defensive lineman that are good enough, that are first-round guys. And the thing about Mike Elko, what I think is going to be the difference, Jimbo was great at recruiting, phenomenal recruiting. Culture was terrible, all right? You're only as good as your culture. Mike can get that culture right. Doesn't matter how much money you're making a month. Every guy gets treated the same. You're going to bring your lunch pail, and you come work your ass off every day. That wins you football games. You got to win up front first, and bringing a guy back like Connor Wegman, I am so interested in this first week game against Notre Dame. Here, Riley Leonard coming off the ankle injury. Mike Elko's old team is going to be an absolute brawl, and I think the more I talk about it, the more I lean A&M's way.
Look, I think when you look at Jimbo Fisher and at the end of his time in A&M, I don't think anybody would argue that Jimbo Fisher was in his prime, right? The top, most efficient, has the players' attention, is communicating at a high level with them, and they're understanding it and wanting to do it. I don't think he was at his top game, on his top game per se. I think Mike Elko gets more out of less than a lot of people. And when you're at it, you saw what he did at Duke. I'm talking about as a head coach. It's such a different job than being a coordinator. I think he can recruit a similar type of player from a rankings system standpoint, because you want to finish high in the rankings. That creates momentum. That doesn't mean that A&M is going to have a top 3 class. I think he's going to bring in the right type of guy where you don't see as much attrition, but he's going to get the most out of everyone. And I think that's where, Mike Elko, you're going to see a return on this investment sooner rather than later, because, again, you're not going to – Desmond Howard and these guys aren't going to have A&M finishing in the Final Four and going to the playoffs as well. Desmond Sycamore at the end of the day. But I want to bring up their schedule because, again, when you look at the pieces
I got it right here if you want it.
Does have,
got it?
Yep. They can beat – I'm telling you, this is one of the teams that not as many people are going to talk about, but I think you could get a big return on their investment. What do they got, David?
Notre Dame, like Blaine said, in College Station.
Very winnable.
Yeah, at home. McNeese State.
Winnable.
Florida on the road.
Winnable.
Bowling Green.
Win.
Arkansas neutral site in Arlington.
Okay.
That's winnable. That's pretty fun.
That'll be a good test.
Football game.
Missouri at home. That's big to get them at home this year.
Get them at home.
Mississippi State in Starkville.
Okay, if you're going to get a road game, Mississippi State's one to get.
LSU at home.
Big.
South Carolina on the road.
That's not going to kill you.
New Mexico State home.
Well, good luck.
They go to the Plains.
To Auburn?
Yeah.
Well, we'll see.
Should be tough.
We'll see.
And then Texas at home.
I'm telling you, man.
Like, that's not a terrible...
Is A&M going to sneak around and be in this thing?
Like on paper, you look at this and like 8.5. Someone just told me 8.5 is over under on wins.
That's it right now.
On paper, I would take the over.
I'd take the over too.
I'd probably take the over.
Especially you beat Notre Dame.
And if Connor Wegman stays healthy,
Yeah.
like, man, before he got injured last year, he was slinging the pill around.
Look, Connor's nice.
Yes.
And we've been talking about how nice Connor is the past 2 off seasons. It's just, again, you're not hearing that same A&M hype, and that's a good thing. That's a good thing. The element of surprise is always a good thing. It's going to be hard for me not to take the under in that Notre Dame Texas A&M game. I don't care what it's at right now.
Well, 2 good quarterbacks coming in.
2 good quarterbacks, but A&M's going to be pretty good on defense. Mike Elko is going to have a hell of a defensive plan, and he knows Riley Winter's weaknesses deep down at a level that other people don't. He coached him at Duke, so you'll be able to put a game plan together that kind of behooves you. And then Notre Dame on defense should be pretty daggum sporty, buddy. Should be pretty sporty.
I'm behoobs.
All right, speaking about sporty, we want to know what you think. The line's open, 7:15 a.m. Central. That's 8:15 a.m. Eastern. 1-855-236-3228. Want to get to those early because we weren't able to get to them early yesterday. But if you're going to bet on anything, whether it's over-unders on wins on the year, we've got the NBA playoffs, the NHL playoffs start here in a couple days. We've got Major League Baseball, college baseball, and then we've got the NFL draft. Bet online is the place. I don't care what you've used in the past. If you haven't used Bet Online, you're not living your best life. All right, this is the trust tree. We're going to play a game of Let's Be Honest with each other. We know how great the NCAA tournament was, the March Madness Bracket Challenge, but the coolest thing about Bet Online is they give you the option to bet on basically everything, even political events. Surprise, surprise. I know which side I'm taking. Like the outcome of the presidential election, whether Hunter Biden's going to serve jail time before 2025, who'll be the next Speaker of the House. At political betting, it's just wild. Like you think sports betting is wild, the political betting is wild too. So make sure you go to betonline.ag, head over there to place your bets. Use promo code BOOSTER, BOOSTER, for a 50% instant deposit bonus of up to $1,000. That's betonline.ag. Use promo code BOOSTER, BOOSTER. Bet online, where the options are endless, and so is the fun.
Bet on the line.
Bet on the line. All right, Booster Club, what's up?
All right, Booster Club, hit that like, hit that subscribe button. If you donate, it's on topic. It will get read, unless you're Charles Dowsett. They'll get read at the end of the show. We're going to start off with Brent Beamer. What's up, Brent? He wants to know, was Jimbo Fisher the Calipari of college football?
A lot of similarities.
Right when it got announced that Cal was leaving, I saw somebody make that comp. And I'm sitting here thinking, and there's more ways that works than doesn't.
Mm-hmm.
Both had a championship, right? Both have been at big-time places, Florida State and Texas A&M. Both were vastly, vastly overpaid, right? Jimbo basically got a lifetime contract with that $80 million guaranteed. I mean, Cal had $33 million as a buyout if he got fired, which is still obviously a lot of coin. I don't think that's a bad comp, man. I think they were different in the way they went about things.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I don't think that's a bad comparison at all.
One of the closest comps I think you're going to find. One difference being that Calipari is a little bit older now that he's leaving Kentucky. I mean, Jimbo Fisher was a bit younger. I mean, even when he left Florida State, I was like, wow, why are you leaving Florida State to go to Texas A&M? But a big part of that was he got paid so much more money. That's another big difference here, is that Calipari is going to Arkansas for less money, even though there's more incentive. So it's kind of a situation where he's betting on himself. Hey, if we make a Final Four run, I'm going to get paid even more.
I mean, that's about the best comparison that I can think of if we're going to go basketball to football.
All right, let's go to the Doghouse 20. He wants to know, are you worried about Texas A&M up front on the offensive line?
As far as talent standpoint, is this going to be the best batch of offensive linemen they've had? No. I think that's one area where Mike Elko is going to continue to develop guys. But I do think they're good enough, and I know they had, one of the guys that started basically every game for him at tackle last year get in the portal. I like some of the young guys that they have. It's going to take some time to develop. This is where having a guy like Connor Wegman that does have experience, I know he's coming off that injury, which actually happened during the Auburn game last year, and that does concern you with keeping a guy upright. But I think down the road, this offensive line is going to continue to get better throughout the year. They're going to create more quality depth. I'm not as worried about the offensive line as other people are, because again, I just think there's that toughness factor that Mike Elko is going to bring in that helps some of those young guys play a little bit ahead of their time. So I'm not as worried, but we're going to have to see. The game plan will be tailored around protecting Connor Wegman as well. You'll get a lot of the quick game, which includes obviously the now screen game, the bubble screen, all that stuff. So not as worried. Hit me back after that Notre Dame game though. We're going to find out pretty damn quick.
All right, let's go to Bradley D. He wants to know which teams has had the biggest surprise so far with the transfer portal being open.
In the spring? Man, I don't think there was anything yesterday that I was really like, oh my God, I can't believe boy hopped in the portal. I mean, you had some people hyping this up as, oh my God, this transfer portal window is going to be absolute wild and craziest. And listen, I know that we have until the 30th, so I'm not trying to put the cart before the horse. But I tried to tell y'all this is the Czech Cola version of the transfer portal. And I love Czech Cola. In fact, David, I was so disappointed with the amount of people that have no idea what Czech soda is. They don't know Dr. Czech, right? They don't know the grape, any of that stuff. Like, what was it? Dr. Lightning? What was the one for Mountain Dew? Did they have Czech in Statesboro? Did y'all drink Czech Cola, or was it more Faygo?
I've seen it.
Okay. Yeah. Nice. Well, I mean, we drank Czech Cola growing up.
I've never heard of that before in my life.
Well, you're from Jersey.
I'm from North Carolina.
Well, that's basically the New Jersey of the Carolinas.
One of them in the transfer portal I saw yesterday was the reaction to the offensive lineman Caden Proctor entering the portal.
Yeah, we already knew that.
But it looked like, because the news of him going back to Alabama came a couple weeks ago, so we already reacted to that. It made it look like he was leaving Alabama again, even though he was just entering the portal from Iowa officially, right?
Yeah, Lambert, we knew was getting in even before the portal officially opened, the Penn State wide receiver, which that's cause for concern for Penn State. Obviously, we talked about that yesterday. But, I mean, Timmy McClain got in from UCF. There's Damian Martinez was a big one from Oregon State, right? Jacoby Matthews didn't practice all spring with A&M, so some people saw that one coming a little bit. I just don't think there's been, oh, God, like Cam Ward's in the transfer portal or something, or there's that big...
Oh, what about the Colorado quarterback?
See, he had problems they were having problems all last year. Remember, he got suspended a couple games or sat a couple games,
but so he was the number one corner in the 23.
I think he was like the Travis Hunter of
23,
the class right after
him.
Travis
Okay,
Hunter.
It went to Colorado.
Cormani McClain.
Now it's transferring. It's interesting because Deion Sanders is the cornerback guy. Like keeps corners there. But what was the Instagram post that you were sharing?
And I was going to say, so can we go ahead and put this up if we have it? So yesterday, Colorado.
Is this the Shedeur Sanders?
Yeah, this is the Shedeur Sanders one. We may not have it. We'll put it up after the show. Basically, Shiloh Sanders, Deion's son, plays defense. Shadeur's obviously the quarterback and plays offense. Shiloh put out a Instagram picture that said, defensive players, if you want to transfer to Colorado, DM me. Offensive players, DM Shedeur. So not the coaches, which, listen.
What's going on over there?
Players get used as third parties all the time in this. It's just so blatant, but the best part about the Instagram post was in parentheses underneath it said, this is not Last Chance U. You want to know how you can be similar to Last Chance U? When you're having to put, this is not Last Chance U. So it's just, and we were texting with a buddy of ours that's big in the college football space. Look, I'm looking at Colorado up front, and they just had another offensive lineman get in the portal, basically the only one with experience. I don't know, dog. Like, they're going to be good at the skill position, but up front, I don't.
22-0. They'll figure it out.
I don't know. We'll see how much hype's going early this year.
All right, that brings me to Ruka617. Since y'all brought it up, says, what's happening with your expectations for Colorado? I don't know a lot about the portal, but I want Coach Prime and Colorado to be good. How many wins do you see this year?
Well, I'm going to wait till the portal totally closes before we, give out projections and official picks, and we do our over/under thing, and we'll go through it with our whole notebook. I can't wait to fill out the notebook again. Watch Pitt fans.
You got that schedule over there?
Yeah, I can pull it up.
Again, I know they got Seton, who is the number one offensive lineman in the country in most ranking systems. I just don't think they're good enough up front. And I'm telling you, losing Sean Lewis, I know he got quote-unquote demoted halfway through last year and then took over got the job at San Diego State. I'm telling you, that's going to hurt them more than people think. Right?
So,
not that the coaching staff's bad or anything like that, but losing Sean Lewis, I'm telling you, is going to hurt them.
you got North Dakota State week 1.
Colorado plays North Dakota State week 1?
Mm-hmm.
Schedules
That's
that?
not a walk in the park.
What psychopath schedules North Dakota State or triple option teams? Psycho.
Week 2, you go to Nebraska.
Yeah, that's the second half of that home and home.
Yep.
Don't think they forgot either.
No, they didn't.
Week 3 at Colorado State. Then you have Baylor at home. Then you go to UCF. Then you have Kansas State at home. You go to Arizona, Cincinnati at home, on the road at Texas Tech, Utah at home, at Kansas, and Oklahoma State at home.
Dude, I don't
They
know.
can get their
David.
ass.
It's fun to see.
I don't know, David. That smells like a 1-3 start. That
Well,
smells
that's
like
what
a
we thought
1-3
last year.
start.
That Colorado State game last year was one of the most fun of the season.
Dude, the lead up to that game was one of the most fun.
That-
I
oh,
can't.
yeah,
I
that
can't
was
wait.
wild.
Here's the thing. Colorado had their coming. I'm coming out, so you bet. Like the Big Ten shows there, game days there. Everybody's gassed them up. Now,
Yeah.
year 2, you're not the sexiest girl to dance. You're not the coolest story. And these people didn't forget.
No, and it was clear that they performed better as the hunters rather than the hunted.
Hey, now you're the
Now
hunter.
you're gonna be hunted.
You think you're going to be the hunter versus North Dakota State? No, those cave trolls are in there lifting weights.
They'll run it every play. They'll run it every play.
They'll run it every single play. They'll have some big redheaded ginger giant.
It's like
that's
watching.
just ready.
It's like Virginia play basketball. It's terrible to
Except
watch.
they don't suck.
And yeah, it's terrible to watch, but they will just run. They'll run it every play.
Yeah. All right, let's go one more.
Let's go to JD. What's up, JD? He says, why are we talking about Texas A&M? Guys, we know what they are. They've been the same damn thing for 100 years. Mizzou went to the SEC championship twice. A&M hasn't been once.
Again, I think A&M has gotten away from who they really are. And I'm not saying that there's some illustrious tradition of national championships at Texas A&M. They ain't even played an SEC championship game, right? But the potential is there. You can see it, right? You don't have to. I can see the storm clouds coming. It's okay for me to pull out an umbrella. But I think what happened was A&M tried to go from the rough and tough part of town to, hey, guess what? Now we're bad and bougie, right? Now I'm showing up to the Great Gatsby parties. That's not you.
But when did that
That's
happen?
not you.
When did that turn?
When they
think
started
so?
getting these number
'Cause
one recruiting
when Kevin
classes,
Sumlin was there,
They were-
the
but
Johnny
they-
Manziel, Kevin
they were
Sumlin. That
Hollywood.
wasn't the blue collar mentality.
No,
for Texas.
and I'm not. But what? And they didn't win anything. Really,
Yeah,
they didn't win anything. It was there.
And they
I'm
beat
talking
Alabama
about
once.
back in those Southwest Conference,
Yeah.
back in the before the Johnny Manziel and the Flash and Sizzle. A&M was a tough ass, hard nosed team. They need to be more Ben Affleck, Matt Damon, Goodwill Hunting. They don't need to be this Leo DiCaprio, Wolf of Wall Street. I'm hanging out with celebrities. Oh, look at me. Look at me. I'm in Puerto Rico with Alabama and Georgia eating cheese, eggs, and potatoes. No, you know what you need to be? Picking up cans on the side of the road and taking them and getting a couple cents and going in, and you need to be
Get that NIL money.
You need to be Jake Gyllenhaal Roadhouse.
Yeah.
Be Roadhouse, not Great Gatsby. More Gyllenhaal, less DiCaprio. All right, I'm not talking about Gyllenhaal from Brokeback Mountain. All right, which the name, you know what? I'm not going to go down that road, but y'all really opened my eyes the last time we had this conversation about naming movies and what they mean and things like that. All right, I know I said one more. Last one, and then we're going to move on.
All right,
remember, if you donate, it gets read unless it's at the end because it's not on topic.
All right, let's go to Luke Bayard. Since A&M's in the discussion, I like Wegman a lot, but who's going to be their running backs this year?
You know, I am interested on that point to see if where Henry Parrish ends up. I know not the biggest name to hit the transfer portal. That's the Ole Miss running back that went to Miami. Now he's back in the transfer portal. He may go back to Ole Miss. Looking at running back, I don't know. Let's look at the depth chart there. I mean, a lot of the talk's been about Wegman and the offensive line. Now, obviously, they're going to talk about the defense with Elko being a defensive guy as the head coach. But I'm trying to remember off the top of my head. I know they had a young guy last year who's pretty talented.
It was Moss. Was it the Moss kid?
It
was
I don't know. Let's.
They had a couple.
We'll get back to you on that specifically from that position group. I'm trying to remember.
Okay, I got it right here.
All right.
Leading the way is Le'Veon Moss.
Le'Veon Moss. That's
82.2 run grade at Pro Football Focus among all Aggie runners. Amari Daniels and Reuben Owens have been solid.
Reuben Owens is the young kid I was thinking about
as well. So they're going to have a stable back.
I'm not worried about A&M at running back. That's not where I'm worried. And really, honestly, quarterback, if Connor can stay healthy, I know they've got a couple options behind. I know that Max left out and things like that and took his brother. But no, Reuben Owens was the young player I know they're really excited about. We were talking with Billy Lucci about him at SEC Media Days last year. But speaking of SEC Media Days, when we're out there, we like to go and maybe have a cold soda with the boys, right? Maybe see our boy, the Stapler, Andy Staples out there. Obviously, Marcelo. All our good friends going to be in Dallas this year. Can't wait for that. But if I'm going to go out and have a few cold sodas, all right, maybe a Rita or two, I'm going to be drinking Z-Biotics. What is Z-Biotics? Well, it's basically magic, all right? You may have not got accepted into Hogwarts like all three of us, but that doesn't mean you can't get a potion or two. So it's a pre-alcohol probiotic. You drink this before you go out and drink, and you don't feel as bad the next day. Yeah. Let's put it that way. We all know the H word, all right? You're having to wake up, get it back together. Z-Biotics, when you drink it before you drink alcohol and drink responsibly, you get a good night's sleep, and you will feel your best the next day. Make it your first drink of the night. We're going to live stream the draft. I suggest you go and get some Z-Biotics because you're going to probably want to have a couple drinks watching that one. So how do you get it? Oh, well, I'm so glad you asked that. You go to zbiotics.com/booster, and you get 15% off your first order with code BOOSTER at checkout. That's Z-Biotics, ZBIO. TICS. It's backed with a 100% money back guarantee, which if you're unsatisfied, which you won't be, you'll get your money back, no questions asked. That's zbiotics.com/booster. Use code BOOSTER at checkout for 15% off. Z-Biotics, drink it in, drink it in, drink it in, Z-Biotics.
I liked it. Maybe one less drink it in.
You don't like that?
Maybe one less drink it in. The third drink it in was a little
well, I was trying to think of something.
Two was good.
I was trying to think of something that rhymed with drink it.
Yeah. Two, you can live with.
It's a good jingle.
Yeah.
They're going to fly off the shelves now.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
All right, boys.
Hey, sell me this pen.
Lots to get to here. Lakers beat the Pelicans last night to secure the 7th seed in the Western Conference. Congrats. You're going to get the Nuggets now. Anthony Davis had 20 and 15. LeBron had 23 and 9. On the other side of that, Zion had 40, 11 and 5. Wasn't enough.
Yeah, I got hurt the last 3.5 minutes of the game after you tie it at 95. I know the Pelicans aren't eliminated yet, but I'm going to keep it T-Bob, all you guys out there. Y'all really, Mincy, y'all let me down, man. Y'all really let me down. I was riding with y'all. I was riding with New Orleans, right? Everybody just trashing y'all. The mayor sucks. It's nasty here, right? The Saints are a disaster. Why is Derek Carr crying at press conferences? I'm out here trying to believe in you guys, and Zion gets hurt with 3.5 minutes to go. So it's going to take a while for me to forgive y'all. I still love the city of New Orleans. I won a lot of money playing baccarat there at Harrah's one time. But as far as last night, look, are the Lakers a problem? Are they a legitimate problem with LeBron? Can this team really win it? I don't think they can deep down, but I don't know, man.
You got to do it against the best.
Go play the Nuggets.
They answered the bell
against the best
every time.
That's what you got to do. If you can beat right now, I believe it's Nuggets Celtics. Then I don't know if anybody else is close. Phoenix probably third. I know Nuggets Celtics have the best odds. Nuggets with the best odds. Celtics second. But I'm not surprised by this game. I'm not surprised by this performance by Zion either. The dude's been doing
Zion's been balling
the entire year. From a guy who defended him getting his max contract, that stuff looks like it's starting to pay off a little bit.
No,
but
we'll see.
Well, he got hurt in the last 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Really. He dropped 40.
I need you in the game the last 3.5 minutes.
Well, I will say this.
There's big.
I do think the Lakers have the ingredients to make a run at the Nuggets. I really do think they do with Anthony Davis. Someone's you got to slow Jokic down at some point. LeBron, 23, 9, and 9, almost a triple-double piece. So good for them. But it's going to be tough to beat the Nuggets, man. I don't know.
Last year, one of the most fun games was that Game 7 Golden State
Yeah.
against Sacramento. We talked about the
They
great
went
run the
to
Kings went on.
Sacramento.
Steph dropped 50.
Yeah.
Payback.
Yeah.
Sacramento beat Golden State yesterday, 118-94. Boys, Klay Thompson went 0 for 10 from the field, 0 for 6 from 3, 0 points.
And I'm not the biggest Steve Kerr fan in the world, with the way he kind of handles this stuff off the court. But I thought it was very classy of him to come out and say, listen, we want Klay back as an organization. I know he struggled tonight. Look, what everybody's going to be talking about is the run over. Is this three-headed monster of Draymond Green, Steph Curry, and Klay Thompson has its run its course? And I think it has. When you look at what's going on with Draymond, you've seen times throughout the year Steph being weirdly emotional about things. I've noticed that. I think and this is the natural order of the jungle. This is the way it works. Eventually, the lion gets too old and a new lion comes along. And the Kings last night, to me, looked like a new lion. Now, that's not saying that the Kings are going to go on the run that the Warriors did. They're not. But when I look at De'Aaron Fox, when I look at the way the Kings are put together, they're young, they're hungry, they know what they're good at, and they're scrappy. I think what made the Warriors so dangerous isn't just their shooting ability and Steph hitting these crazy shots and Klay hitting 12 threes in a game and stuff like that, is that they were doing that, but they were also tough. They were also scrappy. I think that's what Draymond kind of brought that element a little bit to the Warriors. Iguodala, guys like that. They weren't some finesse team that just shot the three well. And it looked to me like the Kings won the effort balls last night. It looked to me like the Kings felt like the aggressor. And, they're chanting light the beam halfway through the fourth quarter. I think it's good for the NBA, though.
Sure.
Right, to have some turnover. But I do think the run's over. That doesn't mean I can't sit back and obviously throw a massive amount of respect at what the Warriors have accomplished, even though if I don't agree, with the way they lean in other things.
So, Blaine, a lot of people thought the Warriors dynasty might be dead before they beat Boston in that 2022 finals, which was our first finals here. But I think they missed the playoffs. Is it the last 3 of the last 5 years, something like that?
Yeah.
So what are your thoughts here? I mean, is Klay Thompson going to come back? Is the dynasty, are they just going to go their separate ways?
It's over. It's dead to me.
How's it going to happen?
Klay is...
Steph's not going anywhere.
No, God, please, God, no, you're saying don't go anywhere. Klay's iffy for me if I'm the Warriors organization. Draymond's gone. I don't think... It's not enough to put up with what Draymond's doing on the court. He's not the old Draymond. He's not getting 12 rebounds a game, 10 assists, a couple steals, a big energy guy. I think Draymond at this point is hurting the Warriors. Klay's not the same. He hadn't looked the same the entire year. I know he had a bad game, but I wouldn't be upset with the Warriors bringing back Klay. They need more pieces around Steph. Steph is your Chris Paul. We talked about this Chris Paul trade for weeks. I think Chris Paul played 6 minutes. Right, had 3 points. Kuminga, don't believe it. And what they're surrounding around Steph right now is not good enough.
What about Andrew Wiggins? I mean, he's a former number 1 overall pick.
True, and Andrew's had solid years, but I still think Andrew, they don't have enough clean guys to put with Steph.
The question I think you got to start asking yourself if you're the Warriors is, how much longer am I going to get any value out of being able to move? Well, Klay Thompson, I think, is a free agent after this season.
That's why I got so emotional.
So the question becomes, for the guys that you do have the capability to move, maybe the Draymonds, whatever, how much longer are you going to be able to get some value out of moving those guys, before the tank's empty and nobody else wants to touch them, be able to actually go get pieces or maybe, stack picks or do something like that. I know the NBA does the draft process a little bit different with the lottery. I don't think the question has been, are the Warriors done making this dynastical run? Is it dead yet? Can we finally put the nail in it to the point where the band breaks up, where all of a sudden the artistic differences or the talent gets to a point where it's just not sustainable? And I think we've come to that point, right, where you can't string it along anymore and have it work. I mean, the Patriots and Tom Brady got and Gronk them got to that point with Belichick. Like, it just, at some point, whether it be ability or capability, it's got to end.
Let's stay in the NBA for a second because yesterday Blake Griffin announced that he's going to retire after 14 seasons, one of the greatest dunkers that we've seen in the NBA. So, just for entertainment purposes, I had to go ahead and pull the top 5 Blake Griffin dunks.
Oh, this is just fun to watch.
Around the Griffin.
Hey, what's up? I'm your dad.
God, be home by dinner or belt the ass.
Are you kidding me?
I'd get
Look
teed
at
up
that.
every time I dunked.
Dude,
like
but see, here's the thing. I would try and dunk it every time. I never
this
have.
is-
I
this
never-
is-
what's up, Bo?
This is
What's the
Kendrick
discount?
Perkins.
I'm your dad.
Oh, God. You are the father.
That's Perk.
Blake Griffin, you are the father. Is that on Perk?
That's Perk.
Oh, God.
Oh, God.
Gotta take
up
a
in-
perk. Hey, what's up? Can I get this discount? I'm your dad. Oh, God.
Dude, he just threw
like-
the ball in the goal.
Oh,
that over
just
like-
get out of
Not
the-
even touching
y'all gotta
the
remember,
rim.
too, DeAndre Jordan was on this team.
Well, and you got to remember also, this isn't over little people. Like, he's doing it
this
over
is Kobe.
Lopez.
Pow!
Mustard.
Not Pow!
Check.
What?
Check,
Oh,
please.
dude. Yeah.
God.
Yeah, this ain't
He
Spain,
got Pow
buddy.
again, didn't he?
Oh.
This ain't Spain.
Oh.
Oh.
Okay, here's the other
Here's-
Pau
this is-
Gasol right
this is-
here.
Hello, love. Oh. Oh.
Again, they'd be like,
Explodes
"Jake,
on
how did-
Gasol.
How did you never take a jump shot 12 years in a 12-year
That'd be
career?
that.
Watch this,
That
watch
is
this.
what I'd be most afraid of in the NBA.
Look, Kobe knew.
Oh.
Kobe
Kobe knew.
absolutely
Kobe knew.
The minute he rolled off that pick. Yeah, you and DeAndre Jordan.
Look at that. Look at that.
Absolutely invading it.
Those teams, it was him, DeAndre Jordan, Jamal
Chris Paul.
Crawford, Chris Paul.
That's all they could do.
Doc Rivers was the coach.
You know, it's funny. Growing up, I used to have people tell me, "Oh man, older guys would be like, oh, Clyde Drexler and Dr. J." Like, I feel like Blake Griffin is kind of like my version of that because when I talk about him, like I'm not talking about really anything else other than his high flying,
Just dunking?
acrobatics. Like, just they're like, oh, you should have seen Dr. J before Michael Jordan. Like, to me, I'm gonna tell my kids like when they see somebody dunk or something like that, and be like, let me tell you about Blake Griffin. Blake Griffin was jumping over cars and also
did do
Pau
that.
Gasol.
So do you feel like Vince Carter's in that same realm, or
Yes.
did Vince Carter have a better all-around game?
I think
All
Vince
around
Carter's
game,
a
yeah.
dunker. I think of Vince Carter's a
I do too. I think Vince Carter's the best dunker.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I agree.
that doesn't mean his all-around game went better.
I agree with that.
Well, to play in the NBA, you can't just be good at dunking. That's like playing. That's you've got to be able.
Blake Griffin got close.
Yeah, no, Blake Griffin's as close as possible. But let's not forget, Blake Griffin was also grabbing like 20 rebounds. Like
Oh, that's true too.
he was an
yeah.
insane effort hustle guy.
Man, that was
like
fun.
again, it's like saying, oh well, you can drive the ball really far, therefore you're automatically on the PGA Tour. No, you can maybe make the long drive contest. Your ass ain't going up there with Scotty Scheffler, sauteing one on 15.
All right, back to that was a lot of fun to watch. Back to college football a little bit. Some news out of Ann Arbor on two fronts. Michigan reaches a settlement with the NCAA for recruiting violations. This was during the COVID era. So Michigan will serve 3 years of NCAA probation, pay a fine, and face recruiting restrictions after the university and 5 current or former football employees reach an agreement with the NCAA's enforcement staff on recruiting violations and coaching activities by non-coaching staff members.
Why would I, if I'm Michigan, I'd be like, hey, we decided we're just not going to do anything about this. Like, we looked at it.
This happened like right after I got married, and now I have 3 kids. We're just getting
No,
to this.
David,
How it works,
like
Dave.
again though, what would happen if Michigan was like, no, what do y'all want to do to us? What are you going to? It's almost like when you get like bigger than. This is like when you get as big as the bully, or like the bully that's bigger than everybody else when they're 12, but you get in high school and you're bigger than he is. He just grew faster than everybody else, and then you meet him outside, and he you face him up. Like, what are you gonna do now? Like, what if I seriously though? If you're Michigan and you told the NCAA and Charlie Baker, be like, yeah, man, we looked at this and nah, we're just not gonna do anything. What would they do? What
know.
probation? What probation? Like, ooh,
Asterisk.
you're gonna ground me? I'm 26
Asterisk.
years old.
Asterisk on your championship.
Yeah, I'll put the ass in asterisk.
All right, some more news out of Ann Arbor. My friend, former roommate, and really one of the most electrifying players in Michigan history, Denard Robinson, was involved in a car accident. This was a couple days ago, and he was arrested for drinking under the influence, and he's been suspended indefinitely by Michigan and Sharon Moore. And it's not Denard's first incident with this, which I hate because one of the nicest guys, one of my favorite teammates that I've ever played with. I hope that Shoelace can bounce back and grow from this.
Just stupid. Stupid for anybody to do it. It happens. I know people do it all the time. But if you're Denard Robinson, I mean, you're in this space. You have a chance to influence a lot of people, even more than you did when you're playing at a place like Michigan, coming off a national championship, a bunch of positivity. You have a chance to help out your new coach in Sharon Moore, the head man there. And you go out and you do something selfish. Not only that, you do something selfish, and then you get behind the wheel and do something even more selfish, apparently, again.
Yeah.
So, every time I see this happen, whether it's Devondre Sweat we talked about the other day, I mean, it's just a lack of responsibility, man. I don't care if you're Denard Robinson or I don't care if you work at the local 7-Eleven, man. Don't drink and get behind the wheel. I mean, you put everybody. I think about, my wife all the time out there driving in the road. I don't worry about her driving. I worry about some dumbass drunk out there driving with her, and I've got no control over it. So it's just stupid, man.
Some news out of the baseball world. So Trevor Bauer, I saw this today, the sexual assault accuser of Trevor Bauer was indicted for fraud.
Good.
We've been talking about that.
Good.
Here's
the thing, though. I want that sentence. If it gets found out that you lied for nefarious reasons to try and get somebody in trouble claiming rape or sexual assault, you should have to serve the same amount of years that Trevor Bauer would have got for rape, which is a lot, buddy, which is a lot. You want to say, and I'm not saying, listen, it happens in real life. I say it all the time. I'm not discouraging people from coming out. But if it gets found out that you get accused of something, and it's found out that it was a lie that was made for nefarious reasons, which happens all the time, you want to put an end to it, they should have to serve that sentence.
Could Trevor Bauer sue the MLB?
You could sue anybody.
Yeah, I know.
I'm facing a lawsuit right now from Humping Badger, which, hey, see you in court, buddy.
Yeah.
Judge Walsh.
Yeah, good luck
but
suing
seriously,
anybody with the
I
name
think Trevor
Humping
got
Badger.
blackballed by the MLB, and he could probably sue him.
Yeah.
Wouldn't surprise me.
No
I mean,
doubt.
look at Matt Araiza, the punter.
No
The
doubt.
Bills. Yeah, I mean, he got kicked off the team for something he didn't do.
Talking about MLB, Shohei's interpreter is facing, 30 years behind bars right now? Is that what it was?
Yeah, and when asked for comment, all he said was,
Miso sauce.
Here's my interpreter.
yeah. He said, here's my interpreter. It's like the ghost of
Hideki
Johnny Cochran.
Matsuyama saying miso sauce.
This still smells funny to me. I went on Tipping Point on OAN and talked about this with Dana Alexa. This still smells unbelievably funny to me. How can you siphon $16 million and I don't know? And the funniest part to me is that's Shohei's interpreter. That's the person that is sent to communicate with him to make it easier for him, in the United States. So it's not like they didn't understand each other. It's not like, hey, my interpreter's speaking Swedish.
That's true.
Like,
I wonder if it smells
funny.
funny because something's actually rotten in Denmark, or does it smell funny because Shohei doesn't speak English, so he can't come out and face us and talk.
How do you not know we're $16 million?
Yeah, see,
But
that's why it smells funny to me. I don't care
if it's Bryce Harper, he could at least be in front of the cameras right now saying, yeah, this looks like a stupid situation, but here's all the ways that I was taken advantage of, and I'm going to get to the bottom of it, and justice will be served. Shohei can't say that to us in our language.
Yes, you want to know why he can't say that? Because the guy he could actually talk to somehow robbed $16 million.
Fair enough. It does smell funny.
My whole problem, I think a bigger problem isn't just that you got $16 million apparently just swiped from you without you knowing. It's that it was swiped by the one guy that's here that you can communicate with and you understand each other the best.
Yeah.
That's like saying, I'm blaming me getting obese on my nutritionist. That's whose fault it is.
Ah, man,
that just makes this thing.
With friends like
think
these,
about it.
man,
If you're Shohei and you're in a new country and you're like, golly, I want to bet illegally, but I cannot get a hold of anybody here that can understand me that knows I want to bet $16 million. Except one person, David. Except one person. And guess who that is? Ping.
Well, the truth, Ping, did you call him Ping?
I forgot his name.
It's Pang.
The truth is going to out. We're going to find out.
Oh, we're gonna
Because this
find
kind of behavior
No, it
doesn't
won't.
just
Find out.
stop.
No, it
You don't
won't.
just stop gambling.
No. Here's the thing. The truth won't come out because they already got the fall guy. Shohei Ohtani's the biggest star that Major League Baseball's had in a while. Probably since Bryce Harper was coming up, if we're going to be honest. This much hype. There is no way in a sport that is having to just pull at every straw we're going to make the bases bigger. We'll have dwarves dancing during the 7th inning, whatever. Like that they'll bury Pete Rose under Guantanamo Bay before they come out and say,
I'm just mad.
All right, Shohei did it.
Shohei, why didn't you come to me? Why didn't you come? You lost 16 mil.
No.
I was up 20 units last month.
He lost
Shohei.
40 mil total. Like, oh boy, lost 40 mil total.
40 mil.
He's not only did you get swiped, you got tricked by the worst bettor in the world.
Wow.
Like the worst bettor in the world.
All right, last one here for rapid fire reactions. And I believe this was posted by Nuclear Golf. And it was fascinating because I stopped and thought about this for like 10 minutes. So I felt like it was show worthy. Could you win the Masters if you started every hole on the farthest part of the green?
Yes.
Now, but think about it. The farthest part of those rolling hill greens, you could actually win the Masters.
Yes.
It seems like yes, but I don't know. I'm not sold, man.
How many par fives are at the Masters?
1, 2, 3, 4. You'd have 4
You're getting
every round, 4 rounds, so 16. And I was thinking about the par fives too. You have to at least birdie every par 5. You have to.
here's a
maybe even eagle a couple.
here's a better way to put it. Would you be willing to bet that you could win the Masters if you started on the furthest part of evergreen, or you had to commit sepku at the end of?
No, I'm not.
What is?
I'm not killing myself over Augusta National Green.
There's
That's like putting on the
If
glass.
there's ever a place to do it, it's probably that little.
So think about it. Scotty Scheffler just shot 11 under
If there
par.
was ever a place to sepku, it's at Augusta. It's on Bid.
That would be the place. I'd just be eating a hot dog.
Sorry, David.
He shot
Sorry,
11.
David. I
He
didn't
shot
mean-
11 under par. So if you get 16 cracks at par 5s, you got to birdie them.
If y'all start me on the green every hole, I'm winning the Masters, and everybody else. Has
Well,
to
it
start
just
everywhere
depends on what a lot of it has to depend on what the field looks like too.
else. What do you
Normal
mean?
field,
What did Scotty finish at?
11 under.
11 under.
Doug? You
If
can't
I could get a 7 or 8.
Think about it.
Think about it.
You're
though.
bogeying a couple of those.
I'm
par-
how about
bogeying.
this?
I'm
How about y'all tell me to
putting
think
some
about it
holes.
one
some
more
of the
time.
and some of those par 3s especially. The par 3s, the green's big. You start on the farthest part. You're going to bogey a couple of the par 3s.
Oh, for
So
sure.
you've got to make up for that on the par 5.
Yeah, but they're gonna bogey like
True.
some like again. The par 5s is where you'll really make your hay, but like again,
It's just
I feel like you should be able.
I
to
just
win
want to
that.
play this experiment out now.
I do
we
too.
should.
We should call Augusta
We
National.
should call Augusta.
Like, hey, we just want to putt.
Pimentos
We just
and
wanna putt.
cheese,
I don't know to pit. I may need
fathers
to chip.
and sons.
Actually, let's play around just to get a feel for it.
Look,
Practice round.
Then we have a
Practice
thing
I
that
can
we want
fix
to do.
Tiger Woods.
Yeah. No.
I can fix them.
Well, I know you'll just send him to the strip club. But speaking about fixing, maybe you've sacrificed your wardrobe a little bit lately.
Sacrifice.
Maybe you've sacrificed comfort for style.
Is this Mac Weldon?
It's
Talk to
Return
me.
of the Mac. Return of the
Talk
Mac.
to me.
Yeah. Well, with Mac Weldon,
Yes.
you can have it both ways, son. All right. They make Thomas apparel with modern performance fabrics for guys who want to look and feel sharp without sacrificing comfort. David, I'm going to let you go on a little diatribe about Mac
Look.
Weldon. I know you just had a shipment come in. I've got one coming in. They got a full range of clothes that never go out of style. I'm telling you, fellas and ladies, it's a great gift for the fellas as well. Go ahead. Hey,
I'm
drop
not
that
trying to
shoe
be
top.
like, I don't want to be like stage 5 clinger or something, but I'm obsessed with this brand now.
I love it.
Because the joggers came in, the polo came in, the t-shirt came in that I ordered, and the boxer briefs came in. I think I wore those boxer briefs.
How about the
4 straight
anti-odor
days.
tee?
Okay.
I'm not only looking
the
good,
best for last.
I'm smelling fresh to death.
And I am wearing, and I'm a liking.
And it's made
I'm
from,
looking.
and listen, you guys know I like this. It's made from insanely soft brushed French terry that's built to go
Oh.
with everything.
Oui,
That's
oui.
right. It's the return of the
Sacre
Mac.
bleu.
Mac Weldon. Sacre bleu.
But can people save money if they buy it, though?
Oh, David, could they? And also get timeless looks and modern comfort. So go to MacWeldon.com and get 20% off your first order with promo code BOOSTER. I'm going to spell it for you. It's MacWeldon.com. Promo code BOOSTER. That's MacWeldon.com with promo code BOOSTER. You'll be doing well when you're macking with Weldon. Mac Weldon. Mac Weldon. All right, let's get to the Booster Club. We got the phone lines open. I want to get to those, David, when you're ready, but let's go to the Booster Club.
Let's go to Doghouse Lawn Care. It says if you can purposely putt off the green to get a better location to chip towards the hole, you win. If you got to stay on the green, we're all going to lose.
I can't chip. That's my worst part of my game.
See, I can chip.
So if they said from chipping right off the green, it would be an automatic no for me.
No,
But the best part of my game is lag putting. That's why I stopped to look at this thing. To see, like, man, could you actually win the Masters?
I really feel like I could. Like, no BS. I know it's harder than what it sounds, obviously, but I really feel like I could.
You know, another thing is pin placement. Like, the locations would matter because if you're starting on the furthest part, and sometimes you're going to have to putt around a bunker to get to a certain.
No, see, I'm a chip.
Oh, on the green?
Yeah.
That's technically allowed.
Yeah, it is.
Just not.
I'm just lagging.
Just not for us at Augusta National.
Lagging on.
Yeah, I don't know if they'd let us on.
They won't let us
do it. But like if Scheffler wanted to chip on the green, then. Yeah.
All right, let's go to the Mav. What's up, man? He says, y'all talked about a lot of NBA teams, but did not bring up the Mavericks. Do you think me and the Mavs have a chance to make it all this year?
Now, I make it all the way. I don't believe that the Mavericks can win the finals this year. I will say we're going to talk more about it once they start playing, obviously, and we get some scores and results. But no, I think the Mavs, it's been a good season. Obviously, I like Luka. You know, he's the white witch. I just don't think you have enough depth. I think, you know, you're going to have to – some other guys are really going to have to step up for y'all to have a chance to win it. Not only get there, but –
So they're the 5 seed right now.
Yeah.
So they're going to play the Clippers, I believe?
Which, look, I wouldn't be shocked if they got past the Clippers.
Yeah.
I don't think that'd be some huge surprise.
Let's go to a $10 donation at 3 Shake and Bake. He says, we need Bauer in Atlanta. Somebody call Anthopoulos. Did y'all see Acuna take that fly ball off the knee last night? He got up limping. I stopped breathing for about 3 minutes.
Yeah, every time Ronnie gets hurt, I get scared. I don't think Bauer's on top of his game anymore. I don't think he's a quality enough major league pitcher right now, and that's sad because of what happened, but two things can be true at once. Yes, he got screwed over allegedly by these accusations in Major League Baseball, and then also he's not where he needs to be for me to want him to go to the Atlanta Braves.
All right, let's go to CJ. CJ, what is up? Does the chemistry between the Villanova National Championship team members help the Knicks basketball team, and is that a good philosophy for an organization going forward?
I don't think it's bad. I don't think it can hurt. You know, chemistry that's built in obviously puts you at a further advantage than if it's not. Now, should you solely rely on that? No, I don't. You know, I think the Eagles have been smart blending what seemed like Alabama and Georgia together as well. But no, I think it helps, obviously, but I don't think it is something that you say, all right, this is our only plan. We're going to ride or die with this. I think it kind of naturally happens. There's wells that you want to go back to because you like that type of player. But speaking of wells, you go back to, there's wells, there's streets, there's also lawns.
Oh.
And on Wednesday,
there are lawns. I got one.
The 6'7" Nephilim monster. He's a very good-looking human being, let's be honest. Tells
down
people
a couple.
To get off, and sometimes to get on his lawn. David, I think there's somebody in particular that you caught on your lawn that you want to G your L.
All you sexists who don't give every dime you make to WNBA players need to get off my lawn.
Pay him.
The details of Caitlin Clark's first professional contract have been released, and I, like so many, am appalled. $338,000 for 4 years? That's roughly $85,000 a year to be a professional athlete, and we claim to be a first world country. Now, some of these free market advocates are pointing out the basic economics of these numbers, saying facts such as the WNBA has never turned a profit once in its 27 years. That's just patriarchal garbage, okay? Another triggering point going around is that the WNBA loses $10 million per year and is subsidized by the generosity of the NBA. Again, this is not a matter with which to be rational. Don't let math and numbers get in the way of what's really important here. Think like Russell Wilson, okay, who posted, "Those ladies deserve so much more," praying for the day, followed by 3 praying emojis. Why not 5? I don't know. I guess it was a short prayer. But see, this issue is not about what value can be brought to society. It's about what you think you deserve. That's America. I, too, approached this topic at one time from a more pragmatic angle. But thanks to Russell Wilson, Jamel Hill, and so many others, I've embraced the phrase, if you can't beat them, join them. That's why I'm proud to announce that until the wage gap is closed, until WNBA players make as much as NBA players, nay, until they make more, I will be boycotting all WNBA games.
Yeah.
That'll show them. Also, don't say boycott. That's problematic as well. I will be girl-cotting all WNBA games until the wage gap is eradicated. And I encourage all those listening to join my girl cot. And anyone who objects to that can just get off my lawn.
Girl cot for life, son.
Girl cot, boys.
Girl cot for
I
life,
can see your
son.
girl cot, son.
Let me see it. There's a cot with girls in it. Sweet. No, look. Hey,
What's Russell tweeting?
Russell, you got other things to worry about, bro.
yeah.
I used to defend that guy.
Well,
Russell.
I mean,
lame.
I just think it's funny that some people think like there's some like group of just old white men sitting in a room smoking cigars in like the dark. They're like, hey,
Pay them less.
we should underpay
Pay them less.
WNBA players. Like, oh, forget about the world economics and stuff. Where we can really get them, let's pay WNBA players less than what they're worth. Look, you're paid what you make,
Look.
right? I mean, it's
I've been girl cotting my whole life.
Have you? How do you go about it?
Disgusting. Can't stand it.
you
This
haven't
hurts
girl
me every
cotted.
day that I can't get up and watch these ladies play.
No, I wake up every morning, I look at my wife, and the first thing I think about is, God, they're screwing the
You
WNBA
toss her a basketball.
You toss her back. Do you think that
dribble around the house.
Can I actually make it through with my girl cot, like, and not go to these WNBA games? Because
I don't know. You love it so much.
The urge is there.
I don't know.
love it so
I don't know.
much.
I don't know. It appears to be a lot of that going around, not going to WNBA games.
Where did Caitlin Clark get drafted?
The
Don't
Indiana
care.
Fever.
Don't care at all.
Fever.
No.
I
The
got a
fever.
fever. No, but like again, if it's funny, the men we complain about, oh my God, like they're so overpaid. You're like the NBA, who is like the least watched sport right now in America, makes $8 billion a year.
Look, the
Like
only
$8 billion, and then on the women we're like, yeah, man, we're overpaying the men, but
it's sad to say, but
it's-
the only
it's-
way women's basketball will start getting ratings if you put men in it.
no, there's
I don't
another
know.
way.
I don't know. Like, we just saw the college girls, like, where Caitlin
No,
Clark's
if the
coming
product is good enough, like, but again,
And
like,
the narratives,
is that
you know?
sustainable?
from, the rivalries.
Is that sustainable?
No.
You know, to be able to have. I mean, Caitlin Clark's going to the WNBA now. A lot of people watch the draft to see Caitlin Clark most likely get drafted #1, and she did. I don't think there's some vast conspiracy. Look, there's some conspiracies I believe in that I think are really going on. The guys sitting around in one room, like listen, let's raise the interest rates on housing market, and let's keep underpaying the women's sports. Single mother of 3 at 1,000 on Caitlin Clark, first round pick. Give it.
No one's gonna watch WNBA. We have to get past this.
Yeah, it's just the truth, man. Like,
Oh,
Just the
man. Y'all want callers?
let's get to calls.
Y'all want callers? Because I got Marcus on the line in Iowa, and I want to hear what he has to say. Marcus, talk to us.
Hey, good morning, guys. I'm the first caller. Oh,
Yeah, how about
You
that,
are.
man?
Set the tone.
Kicking the door down.
Hey, I need you guys to settle something that my brother and I are going through. Think you can handle it?
I would love to do this.
Hit us.
All right. So we're going over the definition of a bandwagon.
Mm.
So my brother-in-law, he's been a diehard Packers fan his entire life. Respect. I myself have been a fan of the Dallas Cowboys since I was probably in 3rd grade, and yet somehow I am a bandwagon fan. Whereas my older brother, he has been a fan of, let's see, the Pittsburgh Steelers, the Kansas City Chiefs. This past year was the Lions, and he's a bandwagon fan too, obviously. And so my brother-in-law keeps calling me a bandwagon fan, even though I've been a fan of the Cowboys since about 3rd grade. What do you think that is his
first-
reasoning?
Well, so let me get this straight. You're saying that it's between you and your actual brother who's a bandwagon, and your brother-in-law is saying that you're the bandwagon fan.
Yeah.
Good one.
All right. Well, after the evidence you've given me, for lack of a better term, I hope your brother-in-law's eyes are brown because he's foolish. That's so ridiculous. You've been a fan of your team since anything before 5th grade, 5th grade or before. You're automatically grandfathered in for the rest of your life. You can't be considered bandwagon. I put it at 5th grade. Some other people put it at 4th, depending on the definition. But the fact that your older brother has bounced around from teams like Angelina Jolie has husbands, and you've been sitting on the same team. I don't understand how your brother-in-law got to that point. I'm really questioning your brother-in-law's motives.
Yeah.
And the real question is your brother-in-law married to obviously it's your sister, but does your sister have a better relationship with you or your older brother?
I don't know. I'd say it's kind of 50-50 on the relationship.
Well, guess what? It's not. It's at least 60-40 to her and him.
This
because
to me,
you're getting called
it
the
smells
bandwagon.
like collusion. Right?
It smells like
Think so?
collusion.
Yeah, it smells like collusion. They know this gets at you,
Yeah.
right? They know this gets at you because they're going to keep pushing those buttons.
You
So
go through the highs and lows with the team, and we haven't had very many highs since I was born in 1998, so been through thick and thin.
Yeah. No, I guess that begs the question. This is fascinating too, but does the team have to be successful when your fandom starts in order to be bandwagon? Because at some point, like you said, before 5th grade, the fandom window has to exist somewhere. Like I became a Braves fan at the time when I started to learn about baseball, and they're the closest team. It just so happens that
I think the caveats are here. Number one is, are you already a big fan of another team in that sport, and you're going to now replace the team you've been rooting for with a team that's having success?
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking about all after 5th grade. I think the second thing becomes too is that if maybe you move to a place,
yes,
and you adopt that.
Like we came to Nashville.
We came to Nashville. If I
We're Preds
became
fans.
a huge Titans fan when I was a Saints fan, like that to me is understandable because of geography. There's caveats to it, but in the scenario you laid out, Marcus, there is collusion going on. I would question everybody's motives.
Because you've gone through the valleys, right?
Yeah.
Like that's the thing. Like even if you joined the fandom when they were really successful, again, you were younger. You have to start being a fan at some time. But they've been bad since then. Like who's flexing being a Cowboys fan right now?
Yeah, no, I agree with that. No, there you go,
Yeah.
Marcus. It's been determined.
Thank you very much.
That's what we're
Awesome,
here for.
man.
Thank you, Marcus.
Call
Great
again
call.
soon. All right, let's go to Tim in Indiana. Tim, what's going on?
Hey guys.
What's up, Tim?
Hey, so IU basketball.
Yes, got a big one
we got it.
yesterday.
We did. However, one is what's in the guy. Can he actually develop guys to do something other than go pro? And two, why can't he recruit in Indiana in general? Do
Well,
you guys think?
Here's number one. Ask yourself this, Tim. The fact that you're having Mike Woodson's been in Indiana a decent amount of time, right?
Yeah.
The fact that you're still having to ask that question, I think already answers that question. To be quite honest with you, that's not to say Mike Woodson. I mean, he's got more experience than Father Time, but he hadn't been able to figure it out at Indiana in the way the college game is now. And look, getting Umar Ballo's huge right down low. I think he's going to bring some more toughness back to Indiana. I know they've kind of been on a good recruiting stretch here lately. The lack of success in the state of Indiana is baffling to me. That's like, fat kids not going to Wonka's factory, even though they live, the factory's in their own town. I like the additions that they've made, but if you're talking about getting Indiana back to a Final Four, no. I don't think he's got the ear of the players the way that he used to. I think the game has changed. I think the fact you're having to ask that question answers that question, Tim. And I hate to say it, right? I think Indiana basketball is one of the coolest, kind of situations out there when it comes to a state being known for a sport.
Yeah. Oh, and side note, I'm an electrician, and I'm going to make more than Caitlin Clark's going to make.
And you want to know why? Because your company makes more than.
Yeah, I would rather watch you
correct.
hook up something electrical than her play basketball.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
You're welcome.
Appreciate it, Tim.
Appreciate it, man. All right. Let's go to Will in New Jersey. Will, what's going on?
Fist pumping up there, man.
Hey guys, how's it going?
What's
Will,
up,
what's
Will?
up, buddy?
So I just wanted to call in. You guys last week looked up where Scotty Scheffler was from, and he's from Ridgewood, New Jersey. That's actually my hometown as well. So,
Let's go.
It's a shame I couldn't get through last week because I would have told you to bet everything on Scotty.
I should have. I
Smart
should have.
man.
Is he? Hey, how much is he? Just an absolute legend up there?
Yes. Yeah.
He'll never.
He's the most famous person from Ridgewood, without question, at this point.
Is Ridgewood big? Is that a big place? I've never been in New Jersey.
It's probably, I would say, like population of like 8,000. It's not a very big town.
That is a small. That is wild.
Yeah. So I wanted to call in. Hold on, buddy. Sorry.
Oh, you're good.
That's the kid that likes to hang up the phone all the time. If you
Hey, that's all right.
Yeah, mine too.
What up?
So I wanted to talk about my beloved New York Knicks. They somehow secured the 2 seed and somehow look like they have the worst possible matchup in the first round, either getting the Heat or the Sixers. I just wanted to see what you guys thought. Who do you think they have a better shot at beating?
Well, I think what scares you about the Heat is that, pun intended, that they seem to turn it on this time of year, right? That it's almost crescendoing up to this. It's like this is when they kind of break out. It's almost like Gonzaga in the NCAA tournament. Like they wait to play their best in that moment. Even though Gonzaga hadn't won it under Mark Few, they have gotten a couple Final Fours. Here's where, if it was me as a Knicks fan, I would, just because Embiid scares me to death, and there's just not a good answer for him. I don't care who you have. I would rather play the Heat. I really actually would. I know Jimmy Butler can
Vegas
go nuts.
agrees.
I get that. I would in a series, I would rather play the Heat just because I feel like you can control the pace a little bit more. But it's not by a lot, Will. It's not.
And Julius Randle being out.
That's your tweener, right?
Is another reason I would rather, just the height of the Sixers, I don't want to see.
It scares me to death.
I'd rather see the Heat right now.
Gotcha.
As a Knicks fan, you got to be excited.
Yeah, y'all are the two.
You got to be excited.
Like, when did you think you'd be saying that?
Jalen Brunson's a problem.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I had the privilege of actually being live at 8 points in 8 seconds by Reggie Miller.
Oh, wow.
So I was glad to not see the Pacers just because I still have nightmares about Reggie Miller and Rick Smith.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it felt like we were going to get such a good matchup when we secured the 2 seed, and then I start reading every article, and it's like, yeah, you guys should have lost, so you'd play Indiana. I was like, well, I don't want to play them either. But there's no real good matchup, but we'll see what happens, and I'll just hope for the best.
Yeah, and look, when you got a guy like Brunson that can control it, Julius Randle being out obviously hurts a lot, but I would much rather see the Heat than the Sixers.
Yeah, I think you guys are right, especially me living right next to Philadelphia.
That'll insulate you a little bit because listen, the longer it goes, the better chance Philadelphia has to blow it down the stretch. That's what you want.
That's true. They are an expert at blowing things here in Philadelphia.
They should have an OnlyFans account. Appreciate it.
Great call, man.
Thanks, Will. All right, we got a couple lines open there. Y'all call in. Let's go on to Ben in Missouri. Ben, what's up?
Hey, I saw the perfect name for the new hockey team in Utah online the other day. And
who is it?
I need to share it with you guys. It is the Utah Stormin' Mormons.
I embrace it.
Mormons.
Embrace it. I think you would get so many more people to show up, right? Not that they wouldn't show up in Utah for hockey. I'm not saying that. Obviously, they know their winter sports, even though you can play hockey obviously in the summer. Shout out to Tampa Bay. But if you named them the Stormin' Mormons, can you imagine if the atmosphere? Like if you gave the Mormons a professional team and they're storming, dog, they go nuts. Yeah. They'd go nuts.
So we don't
You want to talk about building an actual following behind a team, like a cult following? Not saying that Mormonism is a cult. I'm not saying that. But you want to talk about getting a cult type following?
So we don't like Utah Yetis. We don't like that.
I like that. I just don't like it as much.
Okay.
Like if I was gonna go, if I was gonna put a team in an Amish area, why would we not be like the Boston Butter Churners?
Why wouldn't you be?
Why not?
Why not?
About the logo.
How would the logo look? What would he be doing? What would the logo look?
I'm not falling for that one.
How about the Utah Soakers?
What?
I was going to talk more about relocation in general, and
please do.
To Marcus's earlier question about bandwagon fans. So of course I'm in Missouri, And there was a question that kind of arose in my friend group when the Rams left back in 2016. And that question was, if a team leaves, do fans of that team now get a free pass to switch to another team without being called bandwagon fans? Yeah. And I think they do, because
I agree.
Because it's like when a team leaves, it's almost like, a friend breaking your heart, or like, you have a huge fallout with a friend, or you get broken up with or something. And so I think a natural response to that is anger, and okay, well, I'm just going to go to the next girl or whatever. And so we had a lot of people. I mean, that's a huge influx in Chiefs fans, to my dismay. But I think they should get a free pass. What do you think?
Here's the way I look at it. I think that fans, if their team relocates, it should be treated like players when can go in the transfer portal and go wherever if the head coach leaves. If the head coach leaves, you can transfer in conference, not have to sit out of conference, not have to sit out. I feel like that gives you it's a pass. It's a pass. And listen, do you want to use that pass to maybe go to the dark side? Maybe, I don't know, put that coat on and stare in the mirror a little bit longer? I don't know.
And how about when a player goes to a different organization? I mean, if you really love a player, Tom Brady, if you're a Tom Brady fan and he goes from New England to the Bucks.
It's like playing with
LeBron. You cheer. Yeah. And I have other buddies like that too. Like, look, man, I love LeBron. I love so-and-so. Yeah. Or even remember when Chris Paul was getting traded? Go ahead, Ben. What do you think about that?
Obviously with the Broncos, we had a lot of Tim Tebow stands, and I like the guy too, but we still have Broncos fans who will complain that we cut Tim Tebow for Peyton Manning. And those people are certified insane. True. Because we got a Super Bowl out of it. So, I love Tim, but I'm going to take Peyton Manning every single day of the week.
Yeah.
But so I think you can be a fan of a player, but I always considered being a bandwagon fan is when you start to spend money on jerseys and stuff. I think at that point you're like financially investing in the team, and yeah, you can say, okay, I'm going to get a Tom Brady Bucks jersey because I love Tom Brady. Well, no one's going to really know Tom Brady for the Bucks. He's going to be known as a Patriot.
Yeah.
So I just think that your fidelity should be to one team, and if your favorite player leaves, then you can still root for that player. But in terms of like switching, I'm going to become, like a Jets fan when Tim Tebow went to the Jets.
See, I've never been I've never been, this player's here. Like, so I'm now a big fan of this team solely. I've never really been like that. It's always been kind of where I'm from. What drives me nuts are the people who are like, I'm a Warriors fan, I'm a Duke fan, I'm an Alabama football fan, I'm an Astros fan. Yeah. Like, those are the people that I'm like, no, you're not a fan. You're a nothing. You're not a fan. Yeah. I don't consider you you couldn't get into Fansville.
You're a hype guy. You're just a hype guy for whoever's hot right now. That's what
you are,
and there's plenty of them. And
you're an ambulance chaser as a fan.
Exactly.
A fanbulance.
Exactly right. Good analogy. Yeah.
Thank you.
That's exactly
Appreciate it, Ben.
Thank you, Ben.
See you guys.
See you, bud.
See you, buddy.
All right, let's go to David in Cincinnati, Ohio. David, what's going on?
Hey, guys. How you doing?
What's
good,
up,
you?
Dave?
Doing all right, all things considered.
That's good.
There you go.
My unfortunately, though, my Red Wings are now out of the playoff race.
Yeah.
And I had a very proud dad moment. So I called you guys a couple weeks ago to let you know I took my son to his first hockey game ever, and he loved it. And but since then, we were watching the playoff, or watching the end of the regular season, and watching the Red Wings. I was explaining to them how they could, what they needed to do to get into the playoffs. And well, last night, of course, Philadelphia didn't know that they had been eliminated because David Perron scores with 3.4 seconds left to tie the game and force overtime.
The empty netter,
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. So he heard me and my wife talking about it, and he got so upset. And it was such a proud dad moment because I remember that feeling as a kid.
Yeah.
Like when your team loses and you're out. Now I was lucky enough to grow up in the 90s.
Y'all won a lot. Yeah, y'all won a lot.
Yeah.
Yes. I've lived to see 4 Stanley Cups. I've lived to see my Packers win 2 Super Bowls. I've been a very blessed fan.
Yeah.
So,
well, how do you? Let me ask you this. Let me ask you this, David. Number one, that's awesome. Sharing the triumphs and the heartbreak, especially with something like your son, and that's what sports is about to me. But how is it? So you're a Red Wings fan, but you're also a Packers fan. So where are you at with the Lions?
So my dad and his family are all from Wisconsin. My dad was actually an Air Force brat, grew up all over the country, but his dad's family's all in Wisconsin.
Our mom's from Kenosha.
I inherited the Packers.
Yeah.
I inherited the Packers from my dad's side, and my mom grew up in Grand Rapids.
Oh, okay.
So that's how I ended up. And then my dad went to Michigan State, so that's how I'm a Sparty fan.
Okay, okay.
So I'm like this weird conglomeration of just
I love it.
northern teams.
Your ancestry.com is crazy in sports.
It's wild, but yeah, I just that I agree with what you said. That that is what sports is. Sharing those moments, the joy and the heartache. It's
for sure.
Got to be, and I walked into our bedroom last night after trying to console my son, and he's still crying. We could hear him down the hall. My wife was like, "Are you gonna deal with this?" And I'm like, "I did."
Like, let me soak it in a little bit longer. Yeah, let me soak it in a little bit longer.
Like, I know what this is like. I've been there. I have felt that. But at the same time, like, this is his first time experiencing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I have something to hope for in a team, and now they've lost because he's 8. He's 8. He's never known like what this is like.
Yeah.
Good for him.
Facing adversity is like building your immune system.
Yeah, it'll make it mean more when they win.
Hey, tell him this. If he's ever feeling bad, tell him it could be worse. You could be an Auburn fan.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
The closest to death you'll ever get.
Grandma, that's an Auburn fan.
Yeah. So. Oh, really? So she knows what the Death Eaters look like.
I saw there's an Auburn fan in Publix yesterday.
Every time I open my closet, one's looking at me. He's like,
yeah, there's an Auburn fan at Publix yesterday. And I said War Eagle, she says War Eagle. And then we just stared at each other. Another thing we think about is how we gave up 14.
At least they say War Eagle back to y'all. All right, try walking through the grocery store and saying "Go Blue" to a guy in a Michigan hat. Thanks. Thanks. What the hell? I'm not giving you a compliment, goofball. Say "Go Blue."
Thanks. That's hilarious.
Thanks.
That's fun.
Appreciate it, David.
Thanks, David.
Great call,
Who says thanks? What psycho says thanks?
55%.
Are you serious?
And y'all are everywhere.
60% of them.
Y'all are
I always
everywhere.
throw it out there just to test the waters. Darby Lou will be with me. She'll just be laughing when it happens. Because if let her try it. Oh, she's getting a roll tide from across the grocery store.
They'll say it from anywhere.
But they're throwing gang signs at each other.
You know what? I can't
spell Mill Row.
I'm not fighting that fight today.
That's
all
smart.
right. It's April. Smoking Gator in Tampa. Smoking Gator, what's up, man? Talk to me. Getting worried.
Good morning, fellas. How's it going?
What is up, brother?
Yo, did you guys see that home run that Jack Caglione hit last
the one
night?
that went like 521 feet?
What?
Yeah.
521?
516 feet, but close enough.
What was the velocity, the exit velo?
I don't know. I got to go back and look at the graphic. Was
29,000, I think.
Yeah. The sun.
I wonder how it had bet. If you're hitting the ball that hard, there's no way.
And look,
it's under 150.
Who you taking, him or Charlie Condon first, David?
That kid's good.
I mean, I think you know my answer.
Yeah. Well, is Cags pitching too this year still?
Dude, he is. Yes, and actually, what's really crazy is I think you guys know that Cags often gets compared to Shohei Ohtani.
Yeah.
He gets called the college Shohei Ohtani. And actually, if you guys think about it, that is actually the perfect comparison. You know why? Because much like Shohei Ohtani when he was with the Angels, Cags is putting up great numbers as both a hitter and as a pitcher on a team that's massively underachieving.
Yeah, them and y'all in LSU and have it's been pretty surprising. I will say, obviously in college, there are more guys that pitch and hit. I just don't think there's more guys that both pitch and hit that do it as good as Cags.
Yeah, it's insane, and yeah, you're right about LSU, man. I mean, the two teams that met in the College World Series last year are both struggling, but a couple important points too is one, LSU fans can at least somewhat rest easy knowing that, well, at least they they at least won the national championship, so they can rest a little easy there. And then meanwhile, we got our socks blown off in Game 3, and we might not have the opportunity for redemption. But also, in fairness, we are on a 2-game winning streak, so things are getting a little serious.
You just got to get in. You just got to get in. You just got to get in.
Oh, that's pretty much
it's baseball.
That's pretty much all it comes down to.
Definitely.
So,
but no, I mean, it was good to be down in Gainesville a couple weeks ago, man. Next time we'll see you down there.
Thanks, man.
Dude, of course. Glad you guys had fun. Take care.
All right,
see you, bud.
Appreciate it, buddy.
All right, let's go to Josh in North Carolina. Josh, what's up?
That new badge. Welcome home.
Oh.
Hey.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had something to talk about before. There's a Booster Club member that said my calls aren't memorable because I don't have a catchphrase. And they said Steve's hey and Heartbroken Hogs,
Inhale?
It's the Heartbroken Hog. And I just want to say, boring. I don't need a catchphrase.
I like that.
Yeah.
Hey, the new badge looks great, by the way, bud. Appreciate you.
Yeah, no
even though
problem.
that's
I
fat,
had to
Jake.
switch teams because I just had Blaine, aka Tanner over there, just bullying me all week.
Blaine is a bully.
Bullying you. You can't play both sides of the fence, Josh.
Your bet.
You can't play both sides of the fence. If you don't dish it, if you can't take it.
You remember that time I told you not to take Rory?
He was right.
Yeah, well, remember the time you told me to take a guy that needs a sports therapist to walk around every hole? I remember that. And then I remember David Cohn trusting in a guy with 2 last names and put his money on that guy. So I don't know what we're doing here.
Who?
I saw you bet on Brooks Koepka to win it all.
Oh, yeah, the 5-time major champion? Yeah, I took Brooks Koepka.
Yeah.
Idiot.
Yeah. I took a guy that won 4 majors, and look where that got me. Anyways, But I also wanted to call in because I am having I tried not to have this surgery, but apparently I need my wisdom teeth removed, so I'm doing that tomorrow. And
how many? You getting all of them?
Gonna enjoy that.
All of them?
All 4?
All of them out.
There you go.
4.
Look, they're gonna give you some good stuff. Bro.
Yeah, you're gonna be.
Josh gonna call in tomorrow with a catchphrase.
Josh gonna call in tomorrow with another basketball team he's gonna be a fan of. He's like, man, I just love UConn so much. I love them.
Hey,
my cousin's grandfather grew up in Connecticut.
I do have one last question. I'm starting to watch golf more, and I saw the U.S. Opens coming to North Carolina. I was wanting to know, should I go to that?
Yes. Go to as many golf tournaments
please,
as you can.
and tell us how it is.
Please.
All right, will do, boys. All right, thank you, guys.
Josh, hey, good luck in the surgery tomorrow, buddy.
Good luck, man.
See you guys.
Hey, you become the best version of you.
I just bought this Dan Hurley shirt.
All right, everybody else on the line, please call in tomorrow.
Yeah, we'll get y'all tomorrow. All right, I'm going to go up. Oh, man. Whoops. Forgot to write it up there. All right.
Are we all taking the Coyotes today?
Yeah, for our boy Cody Nason.
We're riding, huh?
Yeah, we're riding.
Let's ride,
Plus
man.
Squad ride.
Squad ride.
Good ride. All right, I'm taking a little college baseball parlay. Give me Wichita State, the Shockers. Love that mascot. And then Arkansas at home against Texas Tech on the money line. Those together are plus 114. Then the Coyotes. What? Let's talk about Resident Evil Coyote.
Is that not a Coyote?
I like
No, that's not a Coyote. I'm taking a money line. Last home game in Arizona before they go out to Utah and hopefully become the Storm and
before
Mormons.
they become the Utah Yetis.
On the money line at plus 170. All right, David, what are you taking today?
Well, let's squad ride it together. Coyotes plus 170, and then go ahead and give me the Maple Leafs while we're at it. Plus 110, taking on the Lightning. Man, that whole Atlantic division, I mean, good luck getting wins in that thing.
I'm also squad riding Coyotes. Money line plus 170.
It's a squad ride?
It's a squad ride. And then I'm taking the people who won't let the gays in. Give me the Rangers. Money line.
That's a whole different sport. Wait, are you taking them in baseball?
Yeah.
Okay, well, don't say gay, okay?
Wait, hold on.
What is this, don't say gay build?
Florida.
Rangers, what is that at, Blaine?
It's plus 120.
I thought you were taking the NHL Rangers.
All right, what's Ace taking?
Oh, what's he? Oh, he's taking something. He's taking something. He's taking the Heat plus 5.5. He said.
Ooh, turn it on.
Minus 110, and then he said something about the Hawks plus 3 minus 108, and then I called him dumb.
All right, Hawks plus 3.
He said that's his home city.
Yeah.
Hey, the marker's out. The marker's officially out, man. This one's been working for a while. Guess what? Shot of the year. We go down. We believe.
Oh.
And it's in there, baby.
You missed it.
Woo!
You didn't even hit it.
Woo!
Garbage can.
How about that?
And then he drooled on himself, and he wants to give a high five.
How about that? All right, let's see the bitch.
Quickly, can we get some comments?
Shut up!
New BYU basketball coach.
Yes.
Evan Young.
From the Suns,
From
right?
the Suns.
Yep.
So
Good hire.
What's your thoughts?
He's going to be making a lot. They're going to be paying him a lot. I know they're really excited. Obviously, he has a connection. I'm happy for Mark Pope, and I'm happy for him. I always find it fascinating seeing guys come from the NBA down to college because obviously it's the same game but different sport.
All right, let's get some donations here.
Different game.
$20 donation from Lee Thompson. Appreciate it, Lee. Hey, boys. Thanks for putting in the time. Gig 'em.
Yep.
Jake is so right about
Thank you.
Texas A&M.
Lee, you comment anytime you want. I made that shot, by the way. Y'all always CNN me on here, and it really pisses me off.
You made what
Why
shot?
are you smiling?
Huh?
Why are you
Because
smiling?
I'm a happy guy.
Because you're lying.
No, because I'm a happy guy.
All right, let's go to
Mortgage yesterday.
a $5 donation from Justin Alferrer. Appreciate it, Justin. The rumor is Clay to the Magic.
Ooh.
Also want to give our guy Jonathan Isaac credit after his 2 knee injuries for making the 5 seed in the East.
Yep, happy for Jonathan. Look, Clay, I still think there's a lot of value in Clay Thompson. He goes to the right situation. I mean, you bring that experience. Obviously, I know he didn't have the best game shooting last night, but that's outside the norm. I just can't believe that over didn't hit the Kings game last night. Come on, man, you scored 94? The Warriors? 94?
Hey, it's not your fault.
It's their fault.
It's not your
their
fault.
It's their fault.
$5 donation from our resident Phillies fan, Ryan Gay.
Shut up, Ryan.
Shout out to Ranger Suarez, pitched a second career complete game shutout with 112 pitches and 8 Ks. Oh, I just remembered the Braves still suck.
The first part was cool. Anytime a complete game happens.
Ranger
It's hard to go
Suarez, like,
complete
he's
game.
not out there pumping 102. Like, it's science, then math. It's science, then math. Like, but then you ruin it at the end by trashing the Braves. I don't understand, Ryan.
So the whole statement is ruined now.
Yeah, like you had a great comment and then you blew it again.
All right, let's go to a $10 donation from Steve, Trading Card Frenzy. He said the CNC competition is officially over. Tried to call in, but couldn't do it. Appreciate you, boys. Appreciate you, Steve.
I won, Steve, right?
No, he didn't.
No,
I won.
But
I won on the tiebreaker last time.
We've crunched the numbers.
No.
Found out there
First
was
off, nobody believes
blatant
you.
collusion between Jake and Steve.
Did y'all find that out?
Blaine is just turning into actual CNN. Like, every time you look at Blaine, he's like,
Wow.
Russia.
Wow.
Yeah.
Those are the people you need to worry about. Right?
Here
The
we
propaganda
go.
pushers. Right? The propaganda pushers. All right. Last donation of the day. $3 donation from Finley O'Reilly. Auto Parts. He says, Jake, have another sing. Cheers, my brother.
Have another sing?
Have another sing because you were singing earlier.
I wasn't singing.
Yeah, you were.
I was making a joke.
Everyone listened to you sing.
Talking about the drink it in?
It's a live show.
Antibiotics, drink it in. Better should have been two.
Two's
Should've been
fine.
two?
Three's too much.
It's two's the number.
All right, poll. Who wins the NBA Finals? Nuggets, Celtics,
Don't ever put another NBA poll.
or the field?
Who?
Nuggets,
Let's go with the Celtics.
or the field?
Let's go with the Celtics.
Let's go with the field.
I'll ride with the Celtics.
Right with the Celtics. All right.
40%.
Nuggets, 28%. Celtics, 25%. The field, 46%. Had a late donation from Timothy from Green Bay. $2. Capitals equals playoff. Playoff Flyers equals at home. Plus Cone is the GOAT. Bye.
Who said that?
That is Timothy from
Timothy!
Green Bay.
I love you, Timothy.
Have you sent Kirk his stuff yet?
He has to DM me what he wants. I'm not.
No. You got to figure it out.
I can't figure out what Kirk
Look,
wants.
I'm just going to go ahead. Kirk, I'm just
You're
gonna tell
never
you,
getting-
you're not getting anything.
Kirk, this ain't my job.
You're not
no,
getting anything.
you're
You
not.
send me what you
Kirk,
want,
he'll
Kirk.
never-
All right, and then I push it through. All right,
Kirk,
that's
at
all
all.
I do. I'm the go-between. All right? That's what I am.
You ain't getting nothing, man.
You're the go-between, then you're definitely not getting anything.
So you're a middleman.
So look,
so
you're the middleman. That merch is never.
You're a middleman.
I am.
We appreciate you guys. Got a great show for you tomorrow. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and keep sharing the show. We really appreciate it. Enjoy the NHL playoffs that are coming up too, as well as the NBA. And like the Warriors dynasty, we're going. Wow, God, that was pretty good. That was pretty good.
With the drum roll.